Filipino courting and marriage customs. When we say courting, it often referred to as panliligaw. It is a romantic and often elaborate process that involves a series of stages, like panunuyo, harana, and pamamanhikan, which is practiced in traditional courtship in the Filipino. While in modern Filipino courtship, it includes the use of technology, like social media, which become popular ways to connect. When it comes to marriage, when we say marriage, it's often viewed as a sacred union with strong emphasis on family and commitment. So, in Filipino marriage or weddings, these are often grand affairs with elaborate decorations, sumptuous feasts, and traditional dances. Depends on the family.
In pre-colonial times, marriage customs in the Philippines were characterized by intricate rituals and community involvement, as described in Antonio Pigafetta's accounts. Courtships involved interconnected alliances between families, where matchmaking was a communal affair. The practice of paninilbihan required the groom to serve the bride's family, demonstrating his commitment and respect. Additionally, bigay kaya or dowries were exchanged to solidify these alliances. Rituals led by a babaylan, a spiritual leader, played a crucial role in ceremonies that sometimes included polygamous arrangements and allowed for divorce, reflecting a flexible approach to marital unions. After the Spanish colonization, marriage customs evolved significantly with the introduction of Catholicism, which emphasized sacramental unions and family ties. The American influence further transformed these practices by introducing concepts of romantic individualism and legal frameworks for relationships. Meanwhile, Japanese cultural ideas like Ryosei Kenbo, promoting the role of women as a good wife, wise mothers, added another layer of complexity to Filipino marriage customs, merging traditional values with modern expectations and societal norms. This blend of old and new continues to shape contemporary Filipino courtship and marriage practices as of today.
So now, let's proceed to the evolution of Filipino weddings. Let's start with the destination. The destinations vary nowadays: churches, beaches, or any private places, but the blessings for the groom and the bride are still the same and must still be the same. The second will be the clothes. The clothes or the dress of the brides are still in color white to represent purity, of course, during the wedding, but the designs and styles are already improved. While for the grooms, they prefer wearing tuxedos, and it symbolizes the evolution of dresses throughout the years. And for the themes and the designs of the venues are still like before, with a lot of flowers, but for today, with a lot of twists. For the pre-wedding events, the pamamanhikan that is already a tradition event before the wedding remains still and added the pre-wedding engagement parties. And lastly, the cutting of the cake that symbolizes a couple's love, commitment, and unity as they begin their married life are still observable.
Next, we have courting, or in Filipino, panliligaw. The first one, we have harana, or what we call serenade. In past, suitors would serenade their beloved with love songs, often accompanied by the guitar. This romantic gesture, called harana, was performed outside the woman's window at night to express love and admiration. So harana is a traditional Filipino courtship practice where a suitor serenades a woman outside her window at night, typically accompanied by a guitar. This heartfelt gesture is aimed at expressing love, admiration, and sincerity. The act of serenading is not only a demonstration of the suitor's romantic feelings, but also a display of his dedication and effort to win the woman's heart. Second, we have visitation and pasalubong or gifts. suitors would come to the woman's house, which showed their seriousness but also spending time with both women and their families. They would also bring gifts, pasabog, or the same as what pasalubong means, to show respect and love to the woman and her family. So in addition to the serenade, suitors often bring gifts, known as pasabog or pasalubong, for the woman and her family. So this act signifies the suitor's respect and consideration for her family, emphasizing the seriousness of his intentions. The involvement of the woman's family in the harana process highlights the importance of family approval and integration into the family life. Harana is not just a private act but often draws the interest of neighbors and passers-by, making it a communal event that strengthens social bonds. So here, I'll be presenting the video. So in this video, we'll figure out the example of harana, what looks like harana is. So let's watch this. As we finish watching the video, we identify haranas it symbolizes, such the patience, effort, and the romantic ideals of courtship. So through this, reflecting on the traditional values like respect, gentleness, and significance of family approval in romantic relationships. So, despite being less common today, harana remains a cherished part of Filipino heritage, showcasing the timeless beauty of genuine, heartfelt courtship.
So now let's discuss the Filipino customs of marriage kung saan meron tayong unique and significant practices like pamamanhikan, yung mismong ceremonial customs ng pagpapakasal. So first, let's discuss what is pamamanhikan. Ang pamamanhikan is a formal proposal kung saan pumupunta yung groom kasama ng family niya sa bahay ng bride and ng family na ng bride para kausapin yung family ng bride to ask for her hand in marriage. So dito sa pamamanhikan, nagdadala yung groom ng gifts and offerings sa pamilya ng bride, typically food, drinks, to show their sincerity and appreciation. So dito rin sa pamamanhikan, dinadiscuss yung plans. Pinag-uusapan nila yung wedding date, venue, and other details para ma-ensure na lahat sila ay kasama sa pagpaplano nitong wedding and para na rin smooth yung wedding. So, isa pa is yung pagsisik ng blessing. Dito sa pamamanhikan is formally na kinakausap ng groom yung parents ng bride para humingi ng blessing and acceptance na din sa kanya as part of family. So now let's discuss the ceremonial customs of Filipino wedding. So dito sa Filipino wedding, we have the wedding sponsors or the ninongs and ninang, godfathers and godmothers. So they played a significant role in ceremony and they will serve as mentors or guide for the couples. So, dito naman sa ceremony rituals, we have veil ceremony, cord ceremony, and cord ceremony. So, dito sa veil ceremony, ito yung part na merong sponsors, usually close relatives or friends ng kinakasal, and papatungan yung
shoulder ng brides and groom ng isang veil. The veil symbolizes the couple's union, represents God guidance and support throughout their marriage. And we also have the court ceremony kung saan meron ding dalawa or usually typically close relatives din or friends ng kinakasal, and sila yung magpapatong ng cord sa shoulders ng kinakasal. So meron din tayong exchanging vows kung saan nagbibigay or nagbibigay ng mensahe yung groom sa bride and yung bride sa groom. And the lastly is yung exchange ng rings, kasabay yun ng pagpapalitan ng vows. So ang sinusuot ng typically Filipino sa kasal or kapag kinakasal, the groom wears Tagalog barong, and yung mga babae naman is nagsusuot ng gown, pero dati Filipinian talaga yung suot nila. So the last one is the wedding reception. Ito yung it is typically called handaan, kung saan it is celebration filled with traditional Filipino food, music, and dancing. Dito yung part na magkakasama-sama yung mga bisita, relatives, and friends ng groom and ng bride. So dito sa reception, we have the money dance, kung saan habang nagsasayaw yung bagong kasal is magpipin ng pera yung mga bisita. It symbolizes prosperity and good luck.
So, moving on to the significance of Filipino courting and marriage traditions to our society in terms of cultural identity, social bonds, and modern influence. So let's first proceed to cultural identity. So, Filipino courting and marriage traditions, they preserve and express the rich cultural heritage and values of respect, family involvement, and communal support, which are integrated to Filipino identity. So these practices, it highlights values such as respect, patience, family involvement, and communal support that are embedded in our culture. And by continuing these traditions, we Filipinos maintain a strong connection to our historical and cultural roots, celebrating our uniqueness of identity in a rapidly changing world. Moving on to social bonds. So these traditions strengthen social bonds by fostering connections between families and communities, promoting unity and cooperation within Filipino society. So courting practices like visitation and pasalubong foster connections between families, while marriage traditions like the bayanihan spirit and pamamanhikan, they promote communal cooperation and support. So these activities create a sense of unity and belongingness, reinforcing the importance of family and community in Filipino life. And it also ensures that social ties are nurtured and maintained. Lastly is the modern influence. So these traditions continue to influence modern Filipino society by blending traditional values with new adoptions, ensuring their relevance and continuity. So modern adoptions of harana, for example, might involve digital serenades, while professional wedding planning may complement communal efforts in wedding preparations. So these adaptations demonstrate the resilience and adaptability of Filipino traditions, allowing them to remain relevant and still meaningful in contemporary context, while blending with the old and the new and ensuring their continuity in a modernized world.
In the arts, a way to express what you want to say is through symbolism. In Filipino marriage, symbols are used to signify meanings in a relationship, such as the coin symbolizing financial stability and the veil used by the bride symbolizes unity and protection. The guitars are also considered to be artistic as it symbolizes the culture and heritage of us Filipinos.